Dr. David.
Dave Brenner from Theory of a Deadman. Now, Dave doesn't need any introduction because he's known basically all over the United States and the US. And what album are you on right now?
We're on our 5th record, entitled Savages.
Wow, and what was your first album?
Our first album was self-titled. It came out in 2002, so I don't know what year it is right now. 2014?
Now, everyone sees you today, Dave, and they see Tyler and all the other members, and you sell crowds all over the United States and over Canada, and you guys have millions of fans. People see you and they say, you are a success. But no one wants to talk about the failures. What failures were you experiencing on your road to success, to being the people that you are today?
I think with bands, you almost never meet anybody that's in a band, in a successful band, where that was their first band. You know, so you almost always have to play in all these other bands before you ever reach any success in bands. I played in the first band I played in, we did a full tour across the United States from Vancouver to Philadelphia and then back across. And our band broke up after because we realized that we all hated each other's guts. But we learned so much from the experience of touring and traveling and just sort of, you know, having the opportunity to fail in a way to turn it around and grow from it.
And back then, you weren't having millions of fans, and most people...
No, we certainly weren't.
And how many would you have? Would you have groupies? Were you talking about thousands? How much was it back
Thousands of groupies.
Okay.
No, we would, back then, I mean, nobody knew who the heck we were. We were just self-promoting ourselves and just doing all the legwork ourselves. And so it just, we'd play shows and there'd be 15 people there.
Okay, so a lot of people have these failures, and if they're not selling, let's say, to a full crowd and everyone loves them and they don't have hundreds of followers, at that point, a lot of aspiring artists, writers, musicians, they want to give up. What feelings and emotions hit you in the midst of trying to become the best version of yourself? What were those feelings and emotions?
I don't know necessarily the exact feelings or emotions. I just know that you can't be discouraged, right? For me, I felt like I set a goal when I was a kid. I was like, man, I want to be playing music for a living, and that's it. And so my mom would be like, well, that's great. I love that you have this goal, this passion, but you know, you should take some post-secondary education and have a backup plan. But I really felt like for me at the time, any step I took in any direction was a step away from the direction I wanted to head. So I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't take schooling or focus on anything. I had to focus on one thing.
But people say there has to be a backup plan. You have to start becoming realistic. And so you are one of those bands that did attract, millions of followers, and you are living your dream. But what about the other bands out there who are not there yet, and there are advice out there that says, make sure you have an alternative route. Should those people have an alternative route, or should they go full on with their dream?
Well, I think that you should go on full on with your dream. I think that you can give yourself a timeline to achieve your dream. For me, that's what it was. I said, I can go take post-secondary education 2 years from now and still get myself in a good position to do something. But let's spend these 2 years focusing on this. And if by this date I haven't achieved what I want to achieve in this field, maybe then I'll start branching out and seeing what else I have interest in. For me, I never got to that point. I just focused, and our band got signed. And I mean, even after we got signed, there were still failures upon failures in and of itself as we continue to grow as a band.
Do the failures ever end? Is there a point in your life where you say, you know what, I feel wonderful, and this wonderful feeling is going to last me a lifetime? Or are you still going to feel depressed, discouraged sometimes when you don't have that full crowd?
I think, of course, you're always going to have, I don't think as soon as you become content, then I think that's the ultimate fail. Like, you cannot become content. And so we're never content. And so for me, it's like, you have to keep moving forward, and you're going to keep failing, and that's just your driving force to keep succeeding.
Because you're meaning that you're trying, that you're actually putting yourself out there to make your dreams come true. Now, the last question we're going to have for Dave is going to be found in Failure Key to Success. And this
Great book, pick it up.
Yeah, wonderful book. And the last question, we want to read it out loud?
Is it the last question?
Yes, right here. Go ahead.
What advice or piece of wisdom do you have for individuals experiencing failure who want to give up on pursuing their life dreams? What piece of advice? It's like, it's almost corny to say the same stuff, but I think it's, you gotta keep trying and trying and trying. And you know what, you fail because you set yourself up for things that are hard to achieve. And things that are hard to achieve are satisfying when you achieve them. So you have to keep setting yourself up for failure in a weird way before you'll ever set yourself up for success.
Definitely. And when you look at all these people on the cover, Dave, do you see these people as being successful or failures?
Well, they're probably both. But, I mean, they all look like they got their stuff together. They're probably all successful.
Yeah, and they weren't embarrassed. Because a lot of people, they want to cover up the failures. They only want people to see them in what light?
A successful light?
A successful light. They want to see them as being amazing, accomplished. No one wants to talk about the failures because it makes them feel bad about themselves. But if you're able to open yourself up, that means you are doing what most people in society don't do. And that means they're always trying to go to the next stage in life. And thank you, Dave, for this interview.
It's great to see you again.
It was a pleasure seeing you
again. Where's your second book?
The second book, I haven't shown this to you yet.
But I'll pay for that one. I'll buy that one online.
You can buy that one online, sure. That's Confessions of a Soccer Mom, but you're going to enjoy this one the most.
I can relate to Confessions of a Soccer Mom.
Because he's a mother himself. Okay, thank you guys. We're just joking. Thank you. This was Dr. Emma with eihunter.com. And
give me
check
my
out
book
the
back.
Yeah, this is Dave Brenner's copy of his book, Failure Key to Success by E.I. Hunter. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Take care.
Do I really get to keep this?
Yeah, you get to keep this, of course.
What a great book. I can't believe you're reading 3 books now.